Antonia Mulvey is Executive Director of Legal Action Worldwide, a non-profit group focused on human rights law. She joins us now live from Beirut. What's your reaction to this ruling?
Today is a momentous day. I mean, who would have thought that the International Court of Justice has made a decision, a unanimous decision, a panel of 17 judges, one selected by Myanmar and one by Gambia, of provisional measures to prevent acts of genocide, and the Myanmar military must not commit further acts of genocide. And as we heard earlier from your reporter, not to destroy evidence and to report back to the court. I mean, it was incredible. And we represent Rohingya refugees who are residing in Bangladesh. And we saw their faces and their reactions, that the world has taken note. And the highest court in the land has made this decision. It's really very, very landmark today. And going forward, what does that mean? You know, the Rohingya have been seeking justice, and we've been helping them to try to obtain that. And this is an incredibly important step, even though it may take years for the full trial to go ahead.
Yeah, but as I understand it, the court's decision is unenforceable. I mean, Myanmar does not have to comply. It could just ignore the ruling.
Well, it is a legally binding decision, and I think let's go back to the hearings in December. Aung San Suu Kyi herself went to represent her country, and I think that's very significant. That shows us that she and Myanmar have actually engaged in these proceedings. So it is legally binding. Of course, it's the million-dollar question, will Myanmar comply? They do have very strict reporting provisions that have been requested by the court. What happens if they don't? It would have to go to the UN Security Council. I think here it's going to be really important that we continue international pressure on Myanmar to abide by its legal obligations, and also those that are in Bangladesh watch to see what happens to the Rohingya when they come, if they have to flee still Myanmar into Bangladesh, that we take their stories and hear what they have to say. So I think now we're going to see what will be the reaction, and of course till now we haven't seen a response from Aung San Suu Kyi to the court's decision.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what this means for Aung San Suu Kyi, given that she denied that a genocide had occurred in Myanmar.
You know, I would love to be a fly on the wall right now and seeing what does Aung San Suu Kyi think to this, you know, a human rights icon. And there she was at The Hague now defending the actions of the Myanmar military. And I was there in The Hague with some of the Rohingya refugees who had fled during the 2017 clearance operations, some of them who'd lost a 20-year-old widow who'd had 9 members of her family killed and subjected to very serious sexual violence, who'd wanted to just reach out in the court against Aung San Suu Kyi. I think that she had said before to the world she didn't know what is happening. She cannot deny that. And the highest court in the land has also said to take action now to prevent further acts, to protect 600,000 Rohingya who still remain in Rakhine State in Myanmar. And I think that's incredibly important. We shouldn't forget that there's still many Rohingya still residing in Myanmar. And that's absolutely crucial, that decision for them today.
Okay, many thanks indeed. Good to talk to you. Antonia Mulvey there, Executive Director of Legal Action Worldwide.